So we work on a whole variety of different projects at MOQ Digital. We work on everything from low-level IoT, hardcore technology type projects, really trying to break the mold and do new and interesting stuff, all the way up to web development. We do everything from the whole Dynamics 365 suite, the Power Platform, into our infrastructure area where we focus on things like security, SIEM. We focus on things like networking. So we cover all of this inside of the MOQ Digital brand. And what we also do to our customers is we help understand how to take all these different technology components and build out a roadmap to help them transform their businesses. We solve making sure that there's a bedrock, a well-trusted foundation to your environment, both on-premise and in the cloud and everywhere in between. And then what we do in the digital side of the business is we help the customers build their apps, build their applications, help them build that innovation. And what we know is that if you're able to provide both capabilities to a customer, what you're able to then is help the customer through the full life cycle. So MOQ Digital is a fantastic place because we often talk about culture and we talk about a type of person who fits a culture. And the thing that I love most about MOQ Digital is that we actually have a culture where we are accepting of multiple different personality types. The best way to build a strong team is not get 150 people who are copies of me or copies of each other. We need that level of diversity. So if you're a kind of person who is a bit of an introvert and you like to sit in front of a screen and you like to code, we fully recognize the value that you provide in the environment. If you're the type of person who likes to get out there and be in front of a customer, whiteboard with the customer, design the new solution, we can support that. But the common goal that every single employee that comes to MOQ Digital needs to possess is A, a desire to do something amazing for a customer, to do something innovative, to think out of the box, and B, to be a team player. Because at MOQ Digital, what we know is we're only as strong as the sum of all the parts. So although we have fantastic individuals, every individual at MOQ Digital knows that they're part of a bigger team and their goal is to solve a customer's problem, to delight a customer, and to make a customer be amazed at what we're able to achieve, sometimes with very little, and what we're able to plan for them moving forward as they grow. I'm really excited about the amount of choice, but it also makes me nervous because what it means is we have to pick the right things for those customers and do a level of consolidation around those things. The interesting stuff that's happening around virtual reality and augmented reality, I think we're going to see that now slowly as technology, things like HoloLens start to come to the fore and we have really good development platforms, ecosystems around these, we're going to start to see these things take commonplace in the environment. I think the maturation rather of IoT and industrial IoT, these things are starting to come to the fore now, and really it's easy for us as developers at any level of skill to go and build an IoT solution. I think the opportunities that we have to really build new business processes on top of things like RPA and on top of things like low-code development platforms means that we can put tools in our customers' hands and support those customers as they rapidly model out and build out new scenarios that they want to take advantage of. I think there's never really been a more exciting time to be in technology, both from a foundational as well as from a digital perspective, because what we're seeing is our ability to move fast and to move quickly is really here right now. So I think if you want to find out more about MOQ, there's a couple of things you can do. Firstly, hit up our website, read about us, look about the case studies, have a look at who the people are who make MOQ Digital, follow us on social media. So we're across all the different social medias. I think LinkedIn is probably a great place to connect with us as an organization and reach out to our hiring team directly if you're interested in a role that we have to offer. MOQ Digital, we're glad to talk to any individual who could offer value now, but also in the future. We're in this for the long game, so when we look at candidates who potentially want to work for us, even if there's not a role for you here now, if you feel that you're a cultural fit and you can add some value to us as an organization and more importantly, value to the types of customers, then certainly you should be reaching out on those platforms to us. So MOQ is fantastic in this response. So we have staff who work from home for a number of days. We have staff who choose to come into the office. Really our main goal over here is to make sure that our staff have time time to spend together as a team. Whether that time spent together is over Teams, which is our chosen technology platform, or in person, we certainly encourage those things. We're very flexible in terms of the way people have to work, and obviously the new norm is essentially an availability for remote working. What's great is that our customers have cottoned on to this as well. So we've got very few customers today who demand that our staff have to be on site. In majority of cases, most of the work we can do remotely. Obviously there are times when one has to be on site, and we work around that and we support our staff to make sure that they've got all the things that they need in that space. But certainly work is completely flexible here at MOQ Digital, and we allow people to obviously use that flexibility to their own benefit. And also, to be frank, it helps us out as well, because what we find is people are able to often focus better when they're focused on a core problem or a difficult challenge or a tough project, really just to bunker down and focus on what they need to do in that case. So really it's a great thing that's been introduced, and certainly something that MOQ Digital has taken on board. One of the things I always say to engineers, specifically engineers and developers per se, is that not everyone has to have a manager title attached to the name to earn more or to grow up that salary scale. We value senior, strong technical individuals who can go in there and really solve customer problems as much as we value senior managers in the business. So the great thing about MOQ Digital is you can always decide which route you want to go. Do you want to move into the management space? Do you want to stay technical and focus on just getting better and better, and how can we grow you? More specifically, we also are really interested in helping people understand how they can cross-train and cross-skill. So today you might come into the business and you're a Power Apps developer, but you have a great desire to pick up some hardcore IoT skills. That opportunity exists in the business for you to jump onto a project, gain some skills with a more senior individual who can train you up as part of that process. And we invest quite heavily in making sure our staff have that opportunity to move across, move up and down and around the organization. And title for us is really just something that's attached to your name. What we really value is the value you bring to the organization, the value you bring to the team, and more specifically, what you can do for the customers to delight them. The way that we do this is collaborative. So I don't stand in an ivory tower and make a decision that tomorrow we're going to be using Blazor and yesterday we were using Angular. Really what we do is we involve the developer community or the engineer community in trying to come up with those decisions. So if we're going to make a decision about using a new Cisco product or not, we certainly involve the developers and the team who are going to physically be building that as part of that decision. And the way that we do this is we establish guilds, a guild really being a cross-business group of technology people from all levels who participate and have a particular interest in a technology to provide that input and that guidance about what their opinion is. And really my job in this is that of a facilitator, to make sure that we get that right definition. So when these items come onto what we call our technology radar, and we know that this is going to be the next thing we're going to focus on, that it really has the buy-in of the team, and the team has had a participation in that. When it comes time to coming up with design input into an actual project, certainly we encourage all of our technical leads or solution architects in each project to involve the team members in those decision-making processes. So even if you're a junior engineer or you're a junior developer, it's very possible you might be given a small POC to test something out to help the solution architect come up with an answer to a decision. You very often will have a voice. In fact, you always have a voice. You have the opportunity to say, I disagree because in my experience, that technology doesn't work. And that goes into that decision-making part. So we certainly value everybody's input into making sure we can come up with the best designs, best technology, and best choices for our customers.